Hey there, aspiring entrepreneurs and gardening enthusiasts. We are diving into a topic today that's been buzzing for years and seemingly even more now than ever. It's 2024 and you're probably wondering, is a microgreens business a good business to start? Is this actually a viable business? And is 2024 a good year to start, or is it too late? Is this something I can actually pull off, or is this just a pipe dream? Stay tuned because I'm about to clear this up for you right now and explain exactly if a microgreens business is still a good business to start in the year 2024. Is it a smart move? Let's explore. For the best microgreens content on the internet, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. That way you get notified when I come out with new videos on Tuesdays. I'm Donny Greens and I've been running my microgreens business since 2016, which is 7 whole years now. I was there in the very beginning when microgreens businesses started getting all this hype. My business has endured all these years so far, even through the pandemic. And I even just recently finished building out my brand new farm from the home that I'm living in. I finished the whole farm build out and launched this new farm in April of 2023. In this video, I'm gonna break down the data for you. I'm gonna share some very interesting pieces of information that you're definitely gonna wanna see. And I'm also gonna answer your burning question. Is a microgreens business still a good business to start in the year 2024? All right, before we dive into the details, let's talk about the current trends. In recent years, there's been a huge surge in interest around microgreens. With a growing focus on health, sustainability, and farm-to-table experiences, microgreens have surely found their way into the spotlight. The demand for fresh, local, and nutritious produce has continued to rise, and microgreens with their compact size and high nutrient densities are filling this demand. Restaurants, farmers markets, and health-conscious consumers are actively seeking out high-quality microgreens. I want to show you something crazy right now. Check out this graph. This is a graph for the search term microgreens, so it's basically showing how many people are searching that term on the internet, searching for microgreens. And you can see that back in 2004, there really wasn't much going on, all the way up until like 2009 and then 2010, where it started to get a little bit of traction. But then in 2015, this graph just starts rising and taking off exponentially. You also might be wondering what those ups and downs are on the graph over the past like 5 years, and that's actually the change in searches and demand from season to season. So it's usually the highest in April, and then it goes down to the lowest in October, and cycles like that. But as you can see by this graph, it's continually going up. Here's another graph showing basically the same exact data. It's how many people are searching for that term microgreens. And you can see again by this graph that it's drastically increased over time, and it's basically gone exponential. It's absolutely mind-blowing how popular these microgreens really have gotten. The microgreens trend really is just skyrocketing, and this is all based on hard data. The graphs that I just showed you are literally people searching for microgreens on the internet. This isn't some speculation. This is hard data over the past few years. Now, I want to show you one more crazy thing before I jump into the reasons for diving into the world of microgreens in 2024, and also some of the challenges and considerations, because it's important to look at that too and not just the upsides and exciting facts. Okay, check out this video. It's a video by Gary Vee, who is literally like the #1 person for spotting market trends, understanding culture, and also marketing and social media in general. So listen to what Gary Vee has to say about clean eating in this video. Watch this.
That is like the mecca of Los Angeles now.
It is.
I know people that literally go to LA to do business just so they can go to Erewhon. Like literally, actually.
And take the smoothie that is like
$49. Yeah. They sell $49 fucking smoothies, and people are lined up. Clean eating.
And they have Balenciaga collaborations.
Clean eating.
And all that, yeah.
This is one of the biggest movements. Like clean eating is just going to be outrageous. Like all the biggest brands in the world in 20 years, people are gonna be like, what are these brands? They're all building right now. It's about ingredients, not calories, and it's going to be a big deal.
He's saying in that video that the clean eating industry is going to be absolutely outrageous, as if it wasn't already. Like, I already thought that the clean eating market was already a huge market, and it totally is. You can look up those numbers, but he's saying that it's just the beginning. He alludes to these people buying $49 smoothies simply because of how clean they are perceived to be. And then he goes on to say that the biggest clean eating brands and companies are literally being formed right now. Hello, microgreens are literally the cleanest, most nutrient dense ingredients on the planet. And you can grow them in a week or two from your home and sell them at top value. This is amazing, and the timing couldn't be more perfect, honestly. Now, if this business opportunity sounds exciting to you, but you haven't even grown microgreens yet, comment down below in the comments, comment the word grow, and I'll be sure to get you on the right track and show you exactly where to go to get started. And also, PS, if you wait till the very end of this video, I'm gonna share with you an epic opportunity to learn about microgreens directly with me. So keep on watching until the very end. Okay, let's get into some of the benefits and challenges with starting a microgreens business in the year 2024. So why consider diving into the world of microgreens in the year 2024? 1. Rising health consciousness. As people become more health conscious, the demand for nutrient-rich foods like microgreens is on the rise. We literally just watched a video with the one and only Gary V talking about this in a big and exciting way, and then I even showed you the graphs to back up this data specific to microgreens. It's a perfectly aligning market trend. Number 2 is local and sustainable trends. Microgreens align with the growing trends of supporting local businesses and sustainable agriculture. At the end of the day, who doesn't want to support these opportunities? It's really just up to you to make it as easy as possible for people to support it. It's such a hot topic, the trend is growing, and this is even one of my personal goals for my entrepreneurial career. I personally want to see a decentralized food system focused on hyper-local production and small-scale farmers. This is why I need you to start growing. Number 3 is a quick turnaround. Microgreens have a rapid growth cycle, allowing for quick harvests and huge potential revenue generation. It's actually so insane, and this is one of the things that originally attracted me to microgreens and sprouts, is that they literally grow in 7 days. It results in crazy high profit margins, which I'll go into detail in a later video. And also, another key benefit of this fast turnaround, fast growing crop is that you can learn the skill of growing microgreens rapidly without any prior growing experience or a green thumb. I didn't know what the heck I was doing when I first started growing microgreens 7 years ago, but I was able to get a new learning cycle in every week instead of like once a season with normal outdoor crops. So the learning curve on actually producing the microgreens is absolutely rapid. Number 4 is versatility in sales channels. Whether you want to supply local restaurants, local farmers markets, or direct to consumer right to people's homes, microgreens offer these versatile sales avenues. They are simply a food product, and an awesome one at that. So because of this versatility, you could basically build a ton of different business models around this one core product being microgreens. But before you start planting seeds, let's discuss some of the challenges and considerations, although I don't think that they're really all that daunting. Number 1 is market saturation. Depending on where you're located, the microgreens market may already have established players. Although this is a valid concern and I hear it come up all the time, market saturation is simply not an issue. The demand for these insanely healthy, nutrient-dense ingredients keeps on increasing exponentially, and microgreens farmers can barely keep up. Not to mention the versatility in sales channels that I mentioned just before allows you to be creative with your business model, essentially eliminating this idea of market saturation. I'll tell you a little story about how I avoided this when I first started my business. Even though it was 7 years ago and it was a little bit different back then, microgreens weren't quite as popular, I had 2 of the biggest microgreen suppliers very close to me. One was right here on Long Island, the biggest microgreens producer internationally, so across the world, and still to this day, their name is Coppercress. They were here right on Long Island. And I didn't even feel the effects of them being here. There was no competition to what I was doing. When I first started, I was told to sell to chefs, but I really was interested in the health benefits of these products. So I chose to sell for the health niche direct to consumer and at farmers markets and in grocery stores rather than selling specifically to chefs at restaurants. I created a mixed box of greens called the Sunny Sampler, which made it easy for anybody to pick out what they wanted. And then I started a home delivery subscription service where I brought it right to their door and they didn't even have to think about it. This is an example of how I was creative with my business model, and it allowed me to really thrive as a microgreens farmer. Speaking of health and that other competitor that was nearby me, there's a competitor just north of New York City that literally are the ones who put wheatgrass on the map in the whole Northeast. Their company name is Perfect Foods, and they were selling for health purposes. But even still, I was able to carve out my little area and carve out my niche and get my own group of customers with my own business model. So market saturation just is not an issue at all. Number 2, regulations and compliance. You do want to be aware of any local regulations regarding food safety, labeling, and any permits required for selling produce. Can this hold you up? Sure, but as long as you research what's required and follow the rules, you'll be able to start up a microgreens business in most areas. I had to do this in the beginning, and this happens with most businesses. You have to figure out what's allowed and what's not allowed. I recommend reaching out to your local Department of Agriculture and seeing what they require, but look out for a future video where I cover all this like legal and compliance stuff. Don't worry, I've got you covered. We're not gonna let the stupid government get in our way of growing fresh food for our local communities. Come on. Number 3, initial investment. Starting a microgreens business does require a little bit of an initial investment. You need to buy the initial equipment like racks, lights, and trays that you're going to be using over and over again. And then there are the ongoing costs like your growing medium, seeds, packaging, and labels. These are some of the basics, but feel free to watch my other video on everything that's needed for your farm setup and getting started. Any business is really gonna have somewhat of an upfront cost, but you can literally get started with your microgreens business for less than $1,000. That's actually insane compared to many other businesses. $1,000 to get started with your business and actually have the stuff to be able to grow the product and start selling it, that's amazing. It really is a low barrier to entry because you don't need much money. You also don't need much time or really much space at all either, especially when you're getting started. 4 is the continuous time commitment. Microgreens do have a quick crop cycle, but consistent quality requires ongoing attention and care. You're gonna be the one doing this in the very beginning until you can hire employees. And by the way, when you hire your first employee, it's the best feeling in the world because you're still getting the work done, but you don't actually have to do the work. I remember that feeling vividly because it was absolutely tremendous. And this is really the only way to get that feeling is if you're an entrepreneur running your own business, because then you can hire people to do the work. So these farm tasks are definitely a responsibility, but it sure beats the responsibility of working a 9 to 5 days a week, doing something that isn't nearly as rewarding as running a microgreens business for a living. Now you know if starting a microgreens business is still a good idea in 2024, but have you even started growing yet? Learning to grow the microgreens is definitely the first step in starting a microgreens business, and you can learn to grow them without the pressures of the business. That's in fact what I recommend. Learn how to grow them first before you even think of starting a business, because you have to make sure you're actually gonna like growing microgreens if you're gonna be running a business growing microgreens. I get so many people emailing me and reaching out in my DMs on Instagram saying, hey, I want to start a microgreens business. And I always ask the next question, well, have you started growing yet? And when they respond no, I think it's so funny. If you're thinking of starting a microgreens business, you've got to learn how to grow. This is exactly why I created the One Tray Away Challenge, to create a foolproof way to get anyone anywhere growing successful trays of microgreens. I literally walk you through the process day by day, making sure you know everything you need to know to prevent failure. I even have a VIP option where you get to go 10 days straight with me live every night, where you can ask any questions you want, including microgreens business questions. So if you're ready to grow and want to dive into the world of microgreens with the right information, join my challenge at onetrayaway.com. I really hope to see you in my next challenge. Check out these videos if you want to hear my top 5 tips for beginner microgreens growers, or if you want to learn if starting a microgreens business is right specifically for you. If you like this video, hit that like button, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and be sure to share this video with anybody you think will enjoy it. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Peace.